Thank you, wonderful people, for coming out here for this event. I'm glad that the roads were a little more rural than we had feared. I'm glad that everybody was able to make it. This event is to highlight these wonderful spaces here at the Thomas Dunn Learning Center. They have had some recent spate of vandalism and also a little bit of mold they need to remediate. And so in between each of these acts, I'll bring around a bucket for anybody to throw singles or fives into. I have assembled the greatest that the world has to offer for free here to perform at this wonderful, auspicious location here in Gasconade. I will go to the trouble of introducing them individually maybe at the end, but I will just say they are an ensemble of very talented and very experienced performers and artists and people who I greatly admire and revere. So to be able to have them here in this lovely acoustic space here at the Thomas Dunn Learning Center in the auditorium is very, very wonderful for me. So without any further ado, enjoy a little bit of noise.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. Recently, I have been doing most of my readings with an introduction. Started some years back writing something I call rogue operas, and I've composed many of them over the years. I'm probably into 50 or 60 now. But I've been using different characters from these operas to introduce the readings. And the last 3, 4, 5, or 6, the character I've been using is a character called Aretha, from an opera called Serious Respect. So I'll begin, it's a very short kind of sing-song, and then we'll start the actual reading. And it goes like this, it says, my name is Aretha. Tonight I'm your teacher. Take you for a ride. Open you wide, so the whole world can see ya, see ya, see ya. My name is Aretha. Seraphic episodes, then. The communal coherence of stargates. Prerogative is an insert in the destination log that presupposes boomerang translations based in emptying the gap between Hyperion reality and the absolute stillness of butter. Density, con-telluride, heart base, meandering specification of electrolysis, drawn, spring, music. Mummification is a progress report paid forward to the roots of outsource. The higher one utters names, the less central they become to the sediment thesis. Sophist without a song comes reaching beyond theoretical ambitions of grasp. It's why the old gods, the black Egyptians, invited the malleable word pharaoh to represent ascension. It's the pH, it's the tower falling, it's the babbling of tongues that we resent, but at the same time continue to stage in conduction. We are the fugue states floating above the beaten path. Residence on earth is gnosis delimited. Caps are created for compression. Perfect art destroys love by dying to prove that mythology is fundamentally unnatural. Ben is a chamber of nothingness, a void that coptically refuses to recognize horizons. The church of the ancient lung harbors only vertical, amber, luminous string, polytonal, crystal, periodic oscillates. The most radical gemstone in the universe is the one that doesn't yet exhilarate. Nothing wrong with the failure to communicate a fragment of my holy self. Assignments of the benign sociopath. Soul, DNA, progress of bent, humorous changeling, power lifted by 12 infinity boomerang infants is the Big Bang of modern art. Benign, psychopath, numerical science arraignment. Stay the path. Left hand along the upper lip, sink, lip, the right tinkling, 97 ivory parts of the ebony sundial with real, slow, buttress, toggle, darkling, steady depth. The numerical arrangement is the science of benign psychopaths, created in order to become dry saints. Providence is an abandonment clause circulating through the credible commerce campus. Now, the magic signatories laugh, the laugh of quantum crust as their imprints disappear. In myriads of trance, in times of exaltation, seminal ovum, incessant boomerang chants in myriads of trance, in times of exaltation, seasons of dimensional hiccup debits. Fire locks war in the tongue and waits for the burning to become sensation. Exhibit a new kind of striped, electrical, vegetative impulse. Brain is reloaded as Vulcan photosynthesis, refusing to sizzle or gas, opting foreplay as somersault lattice, Taoist loge. I never heard anybody who retained Vishnu as the genius who repurposed the fragments of the self as the 160th warp of the 74th universe of cream crop dumpsters. Lovers, hobnail yourself to what you love. Adorers, observe Eros as an ancient rite. The ascending declension of the rip-roaring. The animal crisis of the summer solstice is solved by the cold-blooded winter stare. The dolphin who still birthed the concept zero returned as homage to a great white shark. Marks of penetration, wells of acceptance. To madness parallels the entire sequence of a life form in one word and size. Cherry pick Charles Edward Anderson Berry. Chuck, that is. It is not humanly possible to tether his face without renouncing mistakes. The color purple was initially incinerated at the instigation of 4 agronomies of hummingbirds, creating the ancient proposition of incandescence in the highlighter form of nylon, strung, hollow-bodied guitars. This music is the remnant of the scars I pull out of my pockets. A great American music hall of the code surfing, psychotic embolism, Sandman, deep puncture. I was a cloistered monk before meeting the rock and roll vagina on my road to Damascus. Dream time, a blood diamond, momentum, abandoned restoration, politics. He was dead wrong about everything except love. Suddenly, in walked a stomping at the Savoy Spider-Man, wearing Little Red Riding Hood, ruby red slippers, clicking, baiting, and switching to silver spoons shaped like jacks of diamonds, highest noon, spatial dinnerware to raise and then consume whatever treasures have been levitated from the bitter guardian graveyard of mitochondrial mystery. Saturday is the night we drove old Dixie downtown to Atlantis, where the funeral meal of the evening is pelican feeding all children from the blood of his heart. The debridement of the bride is a surprise to the bid-whisk room's ultrasound, because the clown whelp separating the garlic utensil from a shallot repeater pencil recognize the infinitesimal degrees of difference, defining a camel's sacred lump, passing through the eye of a beetle, and a politician's prostate being removed and examined, calculated, pistol sediment, hiding a doomsday dead hand, shotgun promise of encased Cypress Grove, panegyric dementia, Wild Bill Hiccups. The silicone power station still standing at Stonehenge. Reservation drama of eternal diorama, spiritual baked goods. Motel can get its satisfaction in a salt mine by rhyming these three little words. Carry out orders. Whether you're laughing on the battlefield, carry out orders in the Queen's bedchamber. Carry out orders round about Congo Square. Carry out orders, there is no there. Carry out orders, holy, short, disorder at the Thanatopsis border, crack minds and begin to blow. The relationship between madness, revelation, and divinity invokes a conundrum until intelligence voluntarily consents to silicone breakfast. We are not only what we eat, alas, what we consume and therefore generate. If you migrate from food to fuel, you can immigrate to pure energy. This is the zero vessel where rooms curve and impulses become boomerang chants. In periods of trance, in times of exaltation, my pain is His name is Danny. Curtis, Lyle.
Remember,
We
for number
are
17, that's
present.
what I needed to write.
Thank you very much for listening to us.
Thank you. I can't use my phone.
We appreciate your presence and your concentration. Thank you. Shall we do one more, or can we? Sure. Okay. This is called So That I Can Reach You. Became something that I went to regularly some years back when we first heard of the tragedies happening in Darfur. And since they have seemed to arrive on the front page of the world again, I'll do this. It begins with a letter from an Iraqi prisoner in prison in Iraq, at the end of the Iraq War. It says, in a torn letter, he drew an open heart, reaching out to his wife and 2 children, and wrote, I hope that I can be dust in the storms of wisdom, so that I can reach you. Letter from an Iraqi prisoner to his wife and children. Sorrow is tender, love is familiar, blood is a tremor that can never go out. The Prince of Darkness sent death out as a warning to all languages, never to reveal what had happened here. But the power of love called out to the languages of the mothers of children, paused them beneath the chimney of burning torments, and then pressed them forward into play and to talk so they would never forget themselves, as imagination, as ritual, as memory, as self-contained mystery. The Prince of Darkness sent death out to abduct the children, to drag them from out of the holy baths of their mothers down desert stairwells, screaming into sub-basements. But the power of love chanted that there is nothing too imaginable. There is nothing so unimaginable that you cannot endure. Therefore, intoning that in the end no oppression is ever complete, the Prince of Darkness sent death out like a perfect unbalanced talent agent, searching for entertainment and novelty in the flanks of the children, in the livers and kidneys of the mothers of children. He flew into them like a fat man riding a Harley Davidson into the heart of the Mona Lisa. He crawled into the roots of their chakras and lay down like a lead pistol until that time when he would be raised up to a silver shotgun. He would terrorize them and with the inevitability of history gouge out their eyes, gather them up like wandering coughs, roll them around like asthmatic dice in a box of history and human treachery. But the power of love called the mothers of children into a garden and showed them a vision of life that was triggered by chocolate. The Prince of Darkness sent death out, bulging with madness and wildness and greed, to violate marriage and institute the worship of pigs, to set himself up in the inner ear of the earth like a primitive ventriloquist, manipulating all lips and all tongues into curses, epithets, insults, cultural humiliations, perverted anagrams, that when decoded all spell the one constant name: death. The power of love. Confused and exhausted from the battle with death, petitioned the breast of the mothers of children, asking their counsel in the science of direction and distance. And suddenly, a boy and a girl materialized from the depth of the question of the power of love. From the milk of the breast of the mothers of children, the girl said, "My name is One-Eye Lyle." The boy said, "My name is One-Eye Cries." She said, "When a horse died in Osaka, I was born on the Plum Island of Hokkaido." He said, "I run from myself, and people don't think I'm athletic." They spoke in unison and said, "If you want to reach us, you need to feed us. Get us some sourdough bread with apricots, strawberry truffles, golden sweet cakes, red pepper oil, baby carrots, and black walnuts. Bring some grilled swordfish and 2 shark steaks, homemade pies. Make sure they're baked." The Prince of Darkness sent death out. Like an insurance salesman, 1950 style, selling penny policies door to door in Baghdad, in Kabul, Mogadishu, Port-au-Prince, Kinshasa. Yes, it was sad, desperate to be fellow clients. Put your blood here on this ground. Let X mark the spot of your time and your condition. Sign your name. You are now eligible to receive your own personal box. A box made of a pillar of light that sweats and mines ceremonial nuclear chemistry. You are now eligible for cornstarch and wheat gluten and endless buckets of fried chicken. You are qualified for supersized, carcinogized blind beef, plus relief supplies and genetically altered seed. The power of love stood still